All right, call this meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So the first item up on our agenda tonight is a public hearing on the Hallmark Building Group, Inc. Park Road Conditional Use Application 26-01-CU. So council now calls to order a hearing on the conditional use applications filed by Hallmark Building Group, Inc. on behalf of Keith Valley Partnership, LP, for an unaddressed parcel located on Park Road. This property and plan received final land development approval in 2025. The applicant seeks approval to install a corridor crossing of a road and utility transmission line and naturalized stormwater basins in the riparian corridor on the property. Notice of tonight's hearing on the application was published as required by law, and it would be appropriate at this point for Mr. Kildea Walker to enter into the record those documents relating to the filing of the application and the public notice of the application.
Okay, the township exhibits are as follows. T-1 is the conditional use application. T-2 is the deed of the property. T-3 is the agreement of sale. T-4 is the conditional use plan. T-5 is resolution 2026-04, establishing this date as the public hearing. Exhibit T-6 is the letter to all property owners around this property about the conditional use application. T-7 is the letter to the Horsham Township Planning Commission asking them to review the application. Exhibit T-8 is the legal notice. Exhibit T-9 is the affidavit proof of publication. Exhibit T-10 is the township engineer, Gilmore and Associates review letter. Exhibit T-11 is the Montgomery County Planning Commission review letter. Exhibit T-12 is the Horsham Water and Sewer Authority engineer, Gilmore and Associates review letter. And T-13 is the Horsham Township Planning Commission meeting minutes of their review of the application.
If any person present this evening would like party status in either matter, it is necessary to let us know that now. Party status can be granted if you live close enough to the property to be aggrieved by the use proposed. Persons with party status may cross-examine the applicant's witnesses and may present witnesses of their own. Only a party may appeal the decision of council in this matter. If you do not request party status, you will still have the opportunity to express your opinion and tell council whether you would like to see the application granted or denied. Is there anyone present who would like party status? I would like to take this opportunity to remind those of you here tonight that this hearing is being transcribed by a court reporter. Therefore, it is necessary that you not speak unless recognized by council. If you do speak, please give your name and address prior to making any comment so the record attributes your remarks properly. I note that the applicant is present tonight, represented by their engineer, Robert E. Cunningham, P.E. Would you like to have your witnesses sworn in and begin your case?
Turn on your mic there. Can you just test it real quick? There you go.
So do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give today to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Good evening, Robert Cunningham. with Holmes Cutting and Engineering. The conditional use application is for the corridor crossing of the riparian buffer associated with the Park Road development that was approved last year. The corridor crossing in question is in the northern portion of the site. There is a series of little pockets of wetlands on the site and a little ditch that is kind of shown in that dark green area. We designed the plan as a whole to only have one corridor crossing. And to do that, obviously, we need a conditional use, which was known at the time, but we obviously, once we get through approval, the conditions of that final approval were to obtain this a conditional use, along with all the other outside approvals, which is County Conservation District, PADEP, all of those other things. So the corridor in question, for the most part, we are maintaining the existing vegetation that's around the corridor. We do have this one crossing. It will have a pipe. It won't be a bridge. The ditch isn't very large, so it will be about a 36-inch concrete pipe, which conveys the stormwater from the south towards the north, and then it goes off-site further to the north towards County Line Road. The current proposal, obviously, in accordance with all of Horsham Township's requirements, we do have an extensive landscape plan. Some of those plantings are in this riparian corridor area. So we would be enhancing that area where we are able to do so. Obviously, our main goal with our design was to limit any disturbance to that area. So what you see here shows just a snippet of the site plan, shows the landscaping in the area, the darker hatch area, shaded area is the existing woodlands and other vegetation that's to remain. We are in receipt of the Montgomery County Planning Commission letter and the 2 Gilmore letters. Those reviews would be will comply subject to your approval. The Gilmore letter outlines a request for additional plantings, and we would be willing to coordinate with their office to provide those. One of the conditions of the land development approval was kind of reviewing some of the landscaping. We would do this in conjunction with all of that, coordination with their office. So I'm here to answer any questions you may have about the technical aspects, but the intention of this was obviously to minimize disturbance to the riparian area. We think we did a pretty good job of that, but obviously the conditional use is still required.
Up for questions now? Comments? So for the crossing, you said that you're not proposing a bridge, you're pipe, is that accurate?
That is correct, yeah. It would just be piped across as opposed to a larger structure. A larger structure is just not necessary. So it would just be a piped culvert.
That would go underneath the...
Correct, yeah.
Okay. So in the Planning Commission review, it looked like they asked for additional information on the bridge structure, but a bridge is not being proposed. So I guess, Eric, from an engineering standpoint...
Yeah, so the County Planning Commission letters, intent of their comment was to make sure the size of whether it's a bridge or a culvert or a pipe is big enough when they run their hydraulic and hydrologic calculations to convey the amount of water that needs to go through them. So that falls under our purview with them to make sure that's the case, which we agree they have enough capacity. Long-term, from a maintenance perspective, like we were talking about later on the agenda, you're going to be letting us go out the bid to replace a culvert. They're obviously way more expensive to replace later. Pipes, 50 years from now, that's going to be a lot easier to fix. So we recommend that you go with the pipe for this. Whoever's paying for it 50 years from now to have it maintained it's going to be a much better option, and they've proven that they have enough capacity, so we're okay. And just one question as I'm answering theirs. I'm assuming that you will comply to our February 20th letter,
That is correct.
right? And so part of that is also a DEP Chapter 105 permit, and that's something DEP is going to look into also as kind of a second check, in addition to our check. So I think we're covered on that front.
And what is the size of the pipe that would be used?
I think you said 36
It's a 36-inch pipe.
36 inch.
Yeah.
Eric, can you help me to understand the disconnect between 36-inch pipe and 60-foot bridge that was in the planning?
If I could, she means 60 feet this way,
Oh, not,
not long. Yeah, it wasn't a 60-foot span.
I'm
It
like,
was-
that seems like a big difference.
Yes, no. She means it's 60 from, we'll call it north to south, it's
Got
only
it.
60 feet. East to west, the ditch is only 3 feet wide. So,
And you said it was 36 inches.
would be our pipe, yeah. And we provide capacity calculations to Gilmore to show that it doesn't back up, it meets all the hydraulic requirements of a culvert.
I think if Mr. Cunningham proposed a 60-foot wide bridge, that he might not be sitting next to the applicant right now to get this approval.
Does anyone?
Are we okay with the repair and management plan?
So part of the reason I asked about our review letter of compliance with it is we do have some minor comments with that we need to work out with them, but again, these are normal, minor little things, so yeah, it's not perfect as submitted, but generally speaking, you guys approve things with these minor conditions and let us work amongst ourselves later, so we're good otherwise.
Well, this hearing is now closed, and council will render its decision. Nope. Oh. Any public comment? The hearing is now closed, and council will render its decision at an upcoming meeting.
Thank you.
Next item up is opportunity for questions and comments from the public. State your name and address. No, separate.
I've spoken in front of this council before, almost 4 years ago, about the idea of a noise ordinance issue. Now, let me get this straight. I understand the idea of a good time when you're with your friends and, all that good stuff, but I'm coming from the idea of it from the aspect of harassment. My wife and I would like to petition the council to add a noise ordinance to law or whatever within the boundaries of the township, because we have been having an issue with one neighbor whose house is catty-cornered to us in the cul-de-sac around the corner from us. The individual plays music at a very loud volume at all times of the day and night. This person is a district employee, I might add. And it usually starts around 9 or 10 a.m. Most days it'll continue until 10. I was away with my wife last year. We came back and our neighbor said that it went on until 10:45 p.m. The situation has gotten to the point where we are not able to have said windows and doors open in our house. I can't even take a nap in my back patio. Both my wife and I work from home. I cannot even have my windows open in my office. She aims the speaker, one of those Bose speakers, directly at our house, knows exactly the volume that she's playing it at. And we do have social media of these documentations and pictures of the speaker being aimed at our home. We also have commentary on social media, such as, rainy night, my neighbors will be happy there's no loud music. I don't expect to be quiet after 9 p.m. I don't live in Florida, I'm not old. And if they don't like it, tough shit, have them call the cops. My neighbor, whose wife is also a district employee, they have 3 or 4 young children. One is 2 years old. One was trying to sleep the other year. He goes over and asks her to turn it down. I don't give a fuck if your child is trying to sleep. My apologies for my language. This is a situation we're dealing with. I approached her once 5 years ago when I had a headache after cutting the lawn. She was like, I guess. Having seen how other people have approached her about it in her interaction, I refuse to go over there until she raises her voice with me, and then it'll be verbal abuse that I will be going to the cops about. Because the definition of thoughtlessness is a lack of consideration for others' feelings or careless impulse action taken without proper reflection. And also, playing music too loud becomes harassment when it is intentional, repetitive, and severe enough to disrupt a person's quiet enjoyment of their home or create a hostile work environment. Do you guys have any questions for me? And again, I'm not coming from the aspect of when you're with your family and friends and having a good time, hey, can I help? Can I get ice? Can I carry anything for you? But when you're by yourself at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday and you're aiming at people, and I know exactly what her reaction is going to be when I go with her, and she's going to raise her voice with me, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Do you guys have any questions for me? And I apologize for raising my voice. It's been 5 years of this. She knows exactly what she's doing. Any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. I'm sorry that you're experiencing this, and I think that I dealt with something similar with neighbors, so I can certainly understand and empathize with the frustration that you're going through. I appreciate you coming out here and talking to us tonight and providing more support for a noise ordinance throughout the township. And I think that you may already know this, but I will just keep you informed as well that we are planning to introduce a noise ordinance at some point in the near future, hopefully this summer.
Yes.
Yep.
And
Looking at
We did-
introducing it the end of May is the plan.
We did get an update right before this meeting, so we have.
we've had the zoning person out to my home. He's walked to my back patio, walked into our house, walked up to my office, said, I can hear it clear as day, but we still can't set up whatever the hell those things are in the backyard. But he has been there and he has heard it. Even Lieutenant Larry Bosimo walked in our backyard and she yelled at him. She was like, is it low enough? Is it low enough? That's the kind of person we're dealing with. So I wanted to come to you folks before I went to her.
I would also say stay engaged with us as this noise ordinance comes through. There will be an opportunity for the public to review and to make comment on it. So, take time at that point to look it over to make sure it would meet your needs as well. And I would encourage any other resident, with noise complaints to do the same. So just thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much for taking the time.
Thanks for
All the
coming.
best, folks.
Any other questions or comments from the public? Yeah?
Yeah, we need you on the
Awesome.
mic.
While he's walking over, was that mic on? Did it capture everything for you? Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Okay.
It's on.
Hi, I'm Red Turner of Cedar Hill Road, and I wasn't going to say anything, but now that that gentleman has brought it up, yeah, how about a sound or a noise ordinance? We don't have a problem with our neighbors, but the traffic noise is awful, and we are not on a big road. The problem is so many of these vehicles are just set up intentionally to make noise, and for however, they just have them modified. Okay, so we can't keep our windows open in the summertime on the roadside of the house because of this. And so we need some relief from the noise. That's all I have to say. I'm for this noise ordinance.
Thank you.
We are also, just to clarify, the noise ordinance will have some limitations. So as far as traffic noise, I'm not sure it's going to be able to address that in the moment because it's a literal moving target, right, to nail that down. But when the time comes, similarly, if you'd like to be involved in understanding what it will and will not encompass, that would be very helpful. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So the next item on our agenda was supposed to be a presentation on the MS4 municipal separate storm sewer system. However, the individual who was supposed to lead this presentation is out sick tonight, so we are going to table this for a later date. So then the next item that we have to go through is approval of the minutes.
I move to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Second?
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? And the next item up is the treasurer's report.
The balance in the general fund as of February 28th, 2026 is $5,995,405.88. For the most part, the expenditures in the general fund reflect normal activity for February. As of the end of the month, we have received 39.39% of budget revenue and have expended 14.40% of budgeted expenses. We continue to monitor our expenses related to the winter storms. Just to touch on that, we really won't have a handle on the cost of this winter until May. Once all the invoices for road salt, contractors, everything else flushes out during March and April. So May 1st, we'll have a really good handle on what it has really cost us. For a more detailed presentation of our current financial position, I would refer you to your monthly booklets.
I move to approve the list of checks in all funds from February 27th, 2026 to March 11th, 2026 in the amount of $967,906.47, and further move to authorize payment of same. I move to ratify the U.S. Bank credit card transactions for the month of February 2026 in the amount of $15,956.71, and further move to authorize payment of same. I move to ratify in the Horsham Township Charitable Fund in the amount of $31,192.88, and further move to authorize payment of same.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Have it. Next item up on the agenda is to authorize the solicitation of the following bids: a replacement of the Davis Grove Road culvert.
This is a culvert on Davis Grove Road between Willowbrook Road and Babylon Road that needs replacement. It is not in danger of collapsing, and it is, even if it did collapse, probably your rear tires would get wet. So it's not anything dangerous. But at any rate, we are ready to go out to bid. The specs are ready. We hope to do this during the summertime, because Davis Grove Road is used heavily for our high school traffic in the morning and afternoons, with kids using County Line Road to Keith Valley to Davis Grove Road to get over to the high school. So we're really hoping to time it right. That's our hope. There's a lot of things that can pop up on us, but that's our hope, to get it done during the summer when school is out.
I move to authorize the solicitation of bids for the replacement of the Davis Grove Road Bridge.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. So the next item up on the agenda is to consider declaring a portion of the Horsham Township zoning ordinance of 1995 substantively invalid due to failure to include a data center use, and to propose and prepare a curative amendment to overcome such invalidity. Mr. Walker, do we want to talk about this? Do you want to explain first or motion first?
Let's explain first, but I'm going to toss it to John, who's more of an expert of data centers than I, so I'll let John explain it first.
So obviously there's been a lot of concern throughout the county and the region about the proliferation of data centers coming out and sort of setting up shop, oftentimes without a local municipality having much say in the matter. Now, under Pennsylvania law, a municipality has to provide for every legitimate use. So you have to allow a data center somewhere in the municipality or in the township. But you, through your zoning code, can control the zoning districts and the, let's say, site requirements, how far they must be from residential areas, what the height must be, again, regulated through zoning. Right now, the township zoning code does not provide for data centers, which leaves the township susceptible for a developer coming in with a plan for a data center in a location that you may not want to have a data center, and subject to maybe height requirements that are higher than you may want, that might be the equivalency of another industrial building. What this declaration would do, if followed up by the subsequent resolution on your agenda, would provide the ability to take a pause on any ability for a developer to come in and file such an application, and gives the township the ability to then address data centers by providing these requirements, locations, zoning districts in the zoning code within the next 6-month period. And therefore, again, you have to permit a data center, but you'd have better control over where it would go and how it would be situated on that property. Right now, there's no applications, so there's not an immediate fear, but we don't know what the next couple months would bring. So again, this whole process is a way of getting ahead of a potential problem and making sure that the power to control this issue is with the council and not to the advantage of a landowner or a developer.
So before we proceed, for public understanding, this is intended to be a protective measure for residents, that we have some level of control over where these will be allowed, because they have to be allowed somewhere. And that's by law, not something we're inviting, but just want to make sure it's understood that this is a protective measure.
So this measure would then give council, or in the township, 180 days to propose a new zoning that would explain and regulate the proposed development of any
Correct.
data center.
It would create the definition of what a data center is, and maybe there be some accessory uses for that as well. And then decide where do we want to have data centers. I'm imagining it would be in industrial type areas, but the way that the zoning code is set up now is that there's some industrial areas that are better equipped, and some are more mixed use industrial areas. Figure out where it's the best place to put them. And then the restrictions on, again, things such as buffering from residential areas, height, how large they can be. They have to be reasonable, and they can't be so stringent that you can't have a data center, that you can have a data center, but you can't build it based upon the restrictions. But again, it could be reasonable enough that you can keep the controls that you want to have. So yes, it would be creating these additions to the zoning code, that if a plan for a data center was to come in, these would apply. And I believe the county just released, at least I'm not sure if it came out, but not yet. They were planning on releasing earlier this week a model ordinance for their data center. So we anticipate that the county and even the state are coming out with potential models for data centers.
The latest is the end of the month.
Yeah, they've delayed it. So it certainly isn't something that we need to draw from scratch. And our firm has other municipalities that have also been working on data center ordinances, again, to prepare for this issue in the future.
So during this 180-day pause period, no new applications could be submitted for this use, and then the public would still have time, once we draft proposed zoning and ordinances on this, to come and review and comment at that portion.
Correct.
Period of time.
This isn't an enactment of an ordinance. This is giving us time so we can enact an ordinance and not worry about something coming in tomorrow. Giving that more of an ability for the public to listen to them, to interact with them, give them the opportunity to provide feedback. So we're not rushing to get something filed before the data center plan gets filed.
I move to declare a portion of the Horsham Township zoning ordinance of 1995 substantively invalid due to the failure to include a data center use, and to propose to prepare a curative amendment to overcome such invalidity.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Mr. Gildea Walker, is this a voice vote as well?
Voice.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Got it. And then, so the next item is to consider a resolution regarding a municipal curative amendment.
I move to adopt the resolution as proposed declaring a portion of the Horsham Township zoning ordinance of 1995 substantively invalid due to the failure to include a data center use and to propose to prepare a curative amendment to overcome such invalidity.
Second.
This is also a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Sorry. That should
Should
be
be a roll call vote.
roll call, yes. That's my fault. Mr. McCarthy, how do you vote?
Aye.
Dr. Patterson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Thompson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Chunky, how do you vote?
Aye.
And Ms. Slaff, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
So that concludes our, ooh, lights are going out on us. We are getting kicked out. So the next Township Council meeting will be held on Wednesday, March 25th at 6 p.m. We also have a bunch of reminders here. So the Farmers Market will be on Sunday, March 15th, 10 to 1 at the Horsham Library this Sunday. The Hatboro Horsham Educational Foundation Hatters Hold'em is Friday, March 20th at 7 p.m. at the Fuge in Warminster. The Easter egg hunt is March 28th at 10:30 a.m. at the Horsham Township Library. There is a bird habitat talk on Thursday, April 2nd at the Horsham Township Library. And Horsham Day is still scheduled for Saturday, June 6th with a rain date of June 7th. That meeting adjourned.